Alright guys, welcome back to the H.I.T channel. Today, I'm going to do a gapping session. I've got a lot of brand new golf clubs in my bag. New irons, new 3-wood, fairly new driver. I'll be honest with you, I don't really know how far these clubs are going. So, I thought it'd be quite a good time to do a gapping session. Something I would recommend every single one of you watching do. And you can do it in loads of different ways. I'm lucky enough, obviously, to have a launch monitor. I use Foresight GC Quad, which in my opinion is the best launch monitor. Gives really good close data. Either go and see someone who's got a launch monitor, PJ, golf coach, a fitter, where you can hire the facility. Go to a Top Tracer driving range. Again, I'm a huge ambassador for Top Tracer. I think the technology is brilliant. So again, go to a Top Tracer driving range, work out your distances, or even go on a quiet, empty field, hit shots and even pace it out if you have to. But know your distances. In today's video, I'm gonna start off with from a lob wedge and work all the way up through my set, all the way through to a driver, show you the results at the end of this video. You compare your numbers to me potentially, but I need to know my distances to help me play better golf. My setup currently, I've got a 60-degree lob wedge, which is a TaylorMade MG4, a 56-degree TaylorMade MG4, a 50-degree TaylorMade MG4. Then I've got the brand new, and you've probably seen the review on this channel, of the brand new Wilson Staff Model CB irons. So I've got this from 3-iron down to pitching wedge. I popped this 3-wood in recently, as you saw on this channel, the Ping Max G430, and I've got the Cobra Dark Speed LS driver in the bag. So let's go through them all. I ideally, certainly my irons, want kind of that 10, maximum 15 yards gap between every club. 12 to 13 yard gap between every club would be perfect. Let's go with my lob wedge first, build it up, and then, like I say, hopefully, we don't see any big gaps in the setup, and if we do, we always need to find some recommendations to fix all those big, if we start seeing 20-yard gaps between irons, there's something wrong there. We need to fix that. I'm gonna hit a handful of shots with each club, make sure I feel like I've got a good sample set, and then move on to the next. Okay, lob wedge first, just gonna hit full shots. I think another time I might do a proper wedge chart, again, something I'm desperately in need of, but this is just gonna be full shots with every single golf club today. Now what's important in a gapping session, you're not looking for the longest you can hit a golf shot. There's no point in that. We're looking for the average. So if I hit one stupidly long, or if I duff one a bit short, take those out. That's not a true reflection on how far you hit it on average. You want a good collection of nice golf shots so that you can trust those distances out of the golf course. Really important that. What I also think is important, if you can, use the golf ball that you actually play with. I play with a Pro V1, I'm doing all my gapping with a Pro V1. And also, I'm not only just doing a gapping today because I've got new clubs, I've been looking at increasing my swing speed, hitting the ball a little bit further, and I don't really know how far I hit the golf ball at the moment. So even if you've made a swing change, you might have increased your speed, you might have decreased your speed, it's worth doing a gapping session, maybe twice a year, just so you're fully confident on how far you're hitting every club in your bag. So that's why we take out any miscellaneous golf shots. That is a proper shank, a proper shank. that one will come out of the numbers. I don't need to know how far I hit my shanks. Okay, we're all the way up to 6-iron now, pretty much halfway through the set. Some interesting results so far, actually. Very interesting. I think it's going to really help me, this gapping test. Maybe not what I expected to see today. I've got 3 clubs left to go. 3-iron, 3-wood, driver. 3-iron first. Okay, so brand new Ping G433 wood, which is a new addition to the bag. Okay, results are an interesting reading as well. So that was just under 100 shots. I've hit all the clubs in my bag to get a really good sample size for this comparison, gapping test. We look here through the numbers. The big thing I'm looking for is carry distance and the gap in between the carry distances. So we see here, and these are, as I've mentioned before, these aren't my longest shots, they're not my shortest shots, they're an average of the nice shots that I hit. 60 degree, 82 yards, 56 degree, 97 yards, 50 degree, 114 yards, pitching wedge, 126 yards. The only real one that stands out to me there is between the 56 and the 50 degree, but that's only because there's 6 degrees of this gap between the two clubs. So 17 yards, that kind of is about right. Wedges, I'm happy with there. I probably expected everything to maybe be 4 yards longer as an average, but that is a snapshot of me hitting it today. So I'm going to go with those numbers as gospel. Let's move into the irons next. So this is where it gets quite interesting. Between my pitching wedge and my 9-iron, there's only 9 yards gap. It's not enough. I just didn't feel like I was hitting my 9-iron very far today for some reason. Like my average is 135. Normally, I'm seeing myself hit 9-iron closer to 150 yards, at least 145 yards. So I might need to have that 9-iron checked for the loft. And that's what you might start to see with gapping testing. Like clubs can move, they might have come slightly altered or whatever. I'm not saying it has done, but it's definitely something I'm going to check. From there then, everything looks pretty consistent all the way through the set. From 8-iron to 7-iron, 11 yards. From 7-iron to 6-iron, again 9 yards, maybe not quite enough. Between 6-iron and 5-iron, 13 yards, that's what I want to see. Between 5 and 4-iron, there's another 12 yards there. So yeah, there's a little bit of discrepancy in there. Definitely 9-iron, one that for me should be much closer to 145 yards. About 142, I would see a 9-iron. Okay, moving into 3-iron, 3-wood driver. Again, the gap between 4-iron and 3-iron for me maybe wasn't quite big enough in this test, only 9 yards. I think on average my 3-iron should be closer to about 215 yards. Maybe just a couple of slightly misstruck shots still got into the gapping results there. Then we start to see a bit of a jump from 3-iron to 3-wood, which I'd expect, to be honest. That 3-wood's going on average today 230 yards. I have seen in previous testing getting that close to 250 yards, but right now today, when I was hitting off the floor, it was going 230. I'd like to maybe see that jump up a little bit closer to 240, maybe even 250. And an average distance for my driver, pretty standard, 286 yards of carry distance, which obviously you just want your driver to go as far as possible. The actual right and left misses with driver weren't too bad either. So overall, interesting numbers. Things I need to look at, maybe tweak, have clubs maybe just checked for lie angle and loft angles, definitely loft. I don't see any obvious gaps. Maybe in hindsight I could change my 50 degree to a 51 or 52 degree. It's the only real gap I see. Guys, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to do a gapping testing in whichever method you can. It definitely will help improve your game. And hopefully I can take these numbers out on the golf course to improve my game.